Cain and Abel, and
Yeah, let me read you because I found a verse
mhm,
that'll sum it up better than my uh, my poor speaking. So it says, this is Book of Jubilees again.
mhm,
Um, Again, Book of Jubilees. You have a few books that are very solid outside the Bible that are
mhm,
in the Dead Sea Scrolls that are
mhm,
100% genuine. Jubilees is one of them. It says, chapter 4, in the third week of the second Jubilee, so that a Jubilee is 50 years, right? So in the
mhm.
third week of the second Jubilee, she gave birth to Cain. In the fourth, she gave birth to Abel. In the fifth, she gave birth to her daughter Awan. In the first year of the third Jubilee, Cain slew Abel because God accepted the sacrifice of Abel, did not accept the offering of Cain. He slew him in the field. His blood cried from the ground to heaven,
Wait,
complaining.
sacrifice. I'm sorry to interrupt. So does that mean that Cain thought he was sacrificing Abel to God?
No, he was jealous because,
Right, he was
yeah, he
jealous.
offered a sacrifice that was not the best thing he had because Abel offered the best lamb he had, and Cain offered, I think, just some fruit that he had or something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, God was just not very pleased with that, and so he got
So was it was
jealous.
it was it known to sacrifice lamb um to God?
What do you mean?
Like was that a normal thing?
Well, yeah, because you had death started at that point, right?
No, right, but so basically I was not because if you would go back to ancient Palestine in that area, it was a common thing, to sacrifice lamb um, for the Hebrews, right? That was a common thing.
Yeah, every time you eat meat, or in general, you're sacrificing it to something, you know.
But no, I mean to kill a lamb and just bring it as sacrifice, not eat it.
It's always eaten, or it's a portion is kind of offered was at that time offered on an altar to the Most High and burnt, like the fat, because you're not supposed to eat the fat. I'm not sure about the
Okay.
details, but yeah,
All right.
otherwise you do eat
So
it.
okay, so we have Cain, Abel, then the girl. What was her name?
A one.
Hawan. Okay.
And then it says, and the Lord reproved Cain because of Abel, because he had slain him. He made him a fugitive because of the blood of his brother, and he cursed him upon the earth. And on this account it is written, cursed is he who smites his neighbor. And let all who have heard say, so be it. Um, Hold on, let me just go down. And Adam and his wife mourned for Abel for 4 weeks of years. In the fourth year, they became joyful. Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son. His name was called Seth.
Right. Okay. So Seth now is.
And Cain took Awan, his sister, to be his wife.
Oh, okay. So now Cain. All right. So, but wait. Before when Cain was also casted out. Now, doesn't it say a particular land that out into? Is it not
Yeah, the land
Nod?
of Nod. Yeah,
Nod, right?
which means the land of the wanderers.
Okay. Now the land of the wanderers, and that's where Cain found his wife. Correct?
And that's where the fallen angels, which in the New Testament they're referred to as wandering stars, right? So that's kind of where the fallen angels settled, and that's where the giants started to come out of. Was
Wait,
that?
wait, 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 wait. So far, all we have is Adam, Eve. Cain just got killed. I mean, I'm sorry. Abel just got killed. We have Cain, and we have I keep forgetting her name.
Yeah, Awan. Yeah.
Awan. So Cain is thrown out. He's in a land of Nod. Doesn't the Bible say that's where he meets his wife?
Um, I'm Not sure specifically, but he does go down there, and that's where he settles. Yeah.
The land of wanderers. Now, the land of wanderers is so basically only wandering souls, because at this point no other humans were created.
Well, you had also, I forgot to read this part actually, after they had Seth, right? It says, and in the 6th week he begat his daughter Azura. So they had 2 daughters, one after Seth.
Okay, but now it already said that Cain took his whatever.
The one, yeah, he took the one. He took the first daughter, and Seth took the second.
Okay. And Seth took the second. All right, but because from what I remember is that Cain is casted out into the land of Nod, and that's where he meets his wife.
Maybe so. I'm not positive. Yeah. It doesn't say here in Jubilees, but maybe it does in Genesis.
But so far, that's all we have is those 4. I'm sorry, those 6. So in the land of Nod, if all we have created so far is 4 people.
Well, I guess because Cain was cursed, right? So he was made a fugitive to wander the earth because of the blood of his brother. So that's one reason why probably it's called the land of Nod.
Does it give? Do you know any information if it's an actual physical location on Earth?
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I just don't know specifically.
Okay, but this is where I'm a little bit confused.
Although actually, I could give you an idea because I don't know.
Because it says it was east of Eden, right? From what I remember, the land of Nod was east of Eden.
I don't know. I'd have to crack a Bible. Hold on.
No, it's okay. You can let's just go off our memories here.
I can't. You know, I'd be wrong. I might be wrong, so I don't want to do that.
Man, I don't want to make you do all this.
Oh, that's all right. You know, we're just might as well find out what it is.
Because from my memory, that's what I remember. That I don't remember it talking about Seth and Zaruta, or whatever her name was.
Yeah, that's Jubilees, right? So Genesis gives you a really quick version that's like 2 pages long, and then the book of Jubilees will give you like 20 pages and will give you a lot more details. And then the book of Jasher again gives more details. So Genesis was a very simple overview of that time period that doesn't give you a lot of details. So you have a lot of bad interpretations coming out of Genesis because they just use that one reference alone instead of using 2 or 3 references to solidify what happened at the time.
I'm just confused about that part. If he's outcasted into the land of wanderers, there has to be someone wandering that land, right?
Hold on.
Or is it just
Cain, it says the Lord said unto him, this is sorry to cut you off, this is Genesis.
No.
The Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after his son Enoch. This is not the prophet Enoch, it's another Enoch.
Okay. I get that.
And then it gives you the generations. Like he went there, and then he, created his children there.
But so I'm still correct, right? And I'm still right in my thinking. In the land of Nod, he meets his wife.
He meets his wife. Let me see. Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. Cain knew his. Yeah. Something. Yeah. I guess. So.
Okay. So now Adam and Eve and Seth and I forgot the third the fourth
Azura.
Azura is, they're not in the land of Nod. They're still in Eden, right?
Well, I guess, yeah, I guess so.
Now the Seth, this Seth that we're talking about now, is it the
Although you're kind of, your audio is a little choppy there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you clear now. Yeah.
Okay, so Seth, the Seth that we're talking about now, is it the same Seth he's kept mentioning in the previous podcast as being, I mean, is he the first prophet, the first one in a lineage of prophets?
No, Adam had prophecies.
So Adam,
every patriarch in order had a book of, testimony that he gave.
So Adam is the first prophet, let's say, right? Now then Seth should be the next one, right? Because Cain he's out of there.
Yes.
He's an outlaw.
Yeah.
Okay, so Seth is the next. Now what's her name? So Cain and the other, his other sister had Enoch, which is not Enoch.
Exactly.
Okay. So now Seth and, man, I'm so bad with names.
Yeah, no worries.
Zara, Seth and Zara. So now they have a baby, which is supposed to be the next prophet, right? Which is who?
Well, let me keep going here, right? They're back in Jubilees to where we ended, right? Cain, talking about Cain, Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she bare yet 9 sons. So they had another 9 sons after Seth and Cain. In the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, Seth took Azura. In the 4th week, she bare him Enos. So Enos was Seth's first son. He began to call in the name of the Lord on the earth. In the 7th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, Enos took Noah, his sister, to be his wife. She bare him a son called Kenan. The close of the 8th Jubilee, Kenan made Merualet, his sister, to be wife. She bare him Mahalalel, and then Mahalalel bare Mahalalel took unto him, she bare him Jared.
Okay. So
Jared.
let's stop right there. And if I was to think of this logically, and I'm only talking about if Cain, his wife, and Seth and his wife, right? If I was to think of it logically, and let's say in modern terms, for a lack of a better explanation, what I would observe is we have from Adam, from his rib. So in modern interpretation, I would say that, and modern observation, I would say that Eve is a clone of Adam's. Okay, now let me go on. And the following 4 that got married, wouldn't that be incest? Does the Bible talk about that at all? Or is the only explanation that in those times it was just different? Like, how would you explain that? Isn't that clone and incest?